Thank you for watching News Channel Nebraska. I'm Joe Harris. Well, it's official. Governor Pete Ricketts has announced the first positive test of the coronavirus in a Nebraska resident. Health experts and the governor say it's a 36-year-old woman who is seriously ill and is being transferred from Methodist Hospital to the UNMC biocontainment unit. The patient recently returned to Nebraska from the United Kingdom. Ricketts says state officials are in the process of tracking the patient's movements in Nebraska and who she may have come in contact with. Officials say this is day 12 of her illness and that she has been in close contact with her father, who is also being asked about other close contacts she may have made. Former Nebraska running back Maurice Washington began serving his sentence in a California jail Thursday. Washington was sentenced to 30 days in jail and 2 years of probation after he pleaded guilty for revenge porn in California. He had sent a video of an ex-girlfriend's sexual assault that was recorded while she was still a minor. Washington was dismissed from the Huskers in 2019. The Santa Clara County Department of Corrections says his release date is March 20th. An active shooter drill took place here at Central Community College in Columbus to test the skills of first responders and the school on how they would handle such a situation.
5 anymore because of this.
It's a worst-case scenario. A gunman entering a school, shooting people, and taking hostages.
An armed person is on the campus. Go to the nearest room and lock or barricade the door.
Fortunately, it was just an exercise at Central Community College Tuesday involving 5 different law enforcement agencies, including Columbus Police, the Platte County Sheriff's Office, and the Nebraska State Patrol. Law enforcement says they hold these drills with 1 or 2 schools a year. It gives them a chance to put their training to work in a real-world scenario where they use their skills in shooting response and hostage negotiation.
There's multiple things that we were testing, and we're looking for mistakes, because that's how you measure success on one of these active shooter scenarios, is your ability to identify the mistakes and learn from those mistakes.
It's also a chance for the school to test their emergency procedures. With mass shootings becoming a common occurrence, it may be easy to think it can happen at your school.
It makes me feel kind of scared. Like sometimes I do see it on the news and I'm kind of like worried about it.
But that's why Sergeant Jones says they hold these drills in case it really happens.
All that training kicks in to where, you know, you're moving towards a threat, you hear gunfire, you're moving towards a gunfire. Gunfire stops, then you do a little more detailed search, but you're always driving towards the threat. The ultimate goal of a police officer is to have that weapon pointed at you so that it's not pointed at any kid.
And some of those kids volunteered to play the victims in the drill. They got a front row seat to watching crews go to work.
How prepared they are, and it makes you feel a little safer that they do these drills and that they do brush up on their skills and stuff.
Now, this was only half the drill today. The victims were transported to Columbus Community Hospital, where Alex Loroff is standing by with more. A 100-year-old woman's birthday wish came true, and it landed her in the slammer. Jeremy Roth has all that and more in today's Take a Look at This. If you've been looking to buy a house or rent an apartment in Columbus, you may have noticed that it's slim pickings. The housing authority says it's been tight for years. But how bad is it now?
I would say the last 5 years have been more pronounced in that supply and demand being where it is not where it needs to be.
Bonnie McPhillips of the Columbus Housing Authority says it's the tightest she's ever seen it. She says it's caused by a perfect storm of factors, including Columbus having a robust job market and residents retiring but choosing to stay in their homes.
Most of those baby boomers do not leave our community. They stay in those homes that they've lived in maybe for years and years. But yet we have to fill all those new openings. So some of those folks, good chance, are coming from outside the community to take them jobs.
And she says the cost of construction has discouraged building new rental units in town for years. She says that supply and demand imbalance has also caused rental rates to go up. But luckily, some relief is on the horizon. The Columbus Area Chamber of Commerce says their housing committee went to work on the issues several years ago.
The housing committee for the Columbus Area Chamber of Commerce got together and they initiated a funding project where they could create the capital and the funds that would be available to developers.
She says several developers were selected for housing projects.
Out by Menards, there should be the start of a future apartment complex that should hold approximately 180 different apartments.
In fact, she says over the next 2 years, around 400 new homes, including duplexes and apartments for low to moderate incomes, are coming to town. Adding to that, she says other independent developers are starting their own projects, creating more housing opportunities in Columbus. Reporting in Columbus, Joe Harris, News Channel Nebraska. Thank you for watching News Channel Nebraska. Well, it's not every day you see an escape room at a library, but the Norfolk Public Library is using the Christmas season as an opportunity to bring one to town. In it, the escapees have 45 minutes to find Santa's missing hat after elves hid it. Library staff say for those in Norfolk, escape rooms are far away and expensive, and they hope that this one tackles both of those issues.
Well, I have gone to a couple of different escape rooms with friends and family, and I thought that we always have to travel for these events. So I thought that we should have something local that we could offer for free, and that it would be a good way to have family and friends just have some free fun.
Participants in the escape room tell NCN it was exciting to have a breakout room in town, even if it is just for one day. Those at the library say that that's what they wanted to accomplish.
Well, we hope that they have fun, first and foremost, and we hope that it provides a challenge and something different to do with their time, and also some team building along the way.
Only 6 time slots were available for today's room, and organizers say they filled up very quickly. Because of that popularity, they hope to do more breakout rooms in the future. The Nebraska men's basketball team is missing one of its top scorers as it opens Big Ten play this weekend. Head coach Fred Hoiberg announced Friday that junior guard Gervais Green has been suspended indefinitely for a violation of team rules. Green started the first 9 games of the season and is averaging just over 10 points and 5 rebounds per game. Hoiberg offered no further details on what exactly led to Green's suspension. The Huskers are coming off an overtime loss to Indiana on Friday and will take on the Purdue Boilermakers on Sunday. It's been almost 7 months since the historic floods devastated this area. And yes, city officials say every time the Platte River rises to certain levels, it gets ever closer to once again threatening the town of North Bend. North Bend City Council member Ken Streff says the town's levee along the Platte River was built in the 60s.
That levee there protects our city from the Platte River from the south.
But he says the March flood heavily damaged it, and ever since then, the river has eroded another 3 to 4 feet of it.
The levee is now being washed away by the river a little bits at a time. At this current time, we'd probably say there's about 30 to 40% left of that levee.
And if it washes away, there will be nothing to protect North Bend from high water. To add to it, Streff says the town is still in the process of recovering from the spring flood, such as getting to work on repairing streets and sewers.
We're just now getting our bids in for repairs, and we're looking into the millions at this point.
So the last thing they need is the river breaching the levee. Streff says the city can't wait until spring to repair it, so they're taking an emergency approach to do it this fall. He says the city council will select a contractor Tuesday night and that they hope to begin work by October 15th. Now Streff says rain or a freeze this fall would impact the progress they make on repairing the levee. Regardless, he says he's positive it'll be finished by Thanksgiving. Reporting in North Bend, Joe Harris, News Channel Nebraska. You are watching NCN. I'm Joe Harris. Well, the number of people in Douglas County who've tested positive for the coronavirus is now up. The Douglas County Health Department announced Wednesday night that there are now 5 more cases. They say the individuals have been in self-quarantine for several days and are close family members of a woman in an earlier case who traveled to California and Nevada. Officials say the 5 individuals don't require hospitalization but remain in self-isolation. This brings the total number of confirmed cases in the county to 9. The health department says it will investigate if anyone else in the community has been exposed. It's been 6 months since the spring floodwaters swept through this area, yet many folks are saying Butler County roads like this are in bad shape, and they want to see something done about it.
I think we've been telling you guys for 4 months now that there's major issues in this county.
Residents turned up to the Butler County Board of Supervisors meeting Tuesday to say many roads are still badly damaged from the 2019 floods, and that's not acceptable. They say the roads are crucial to the upcoming harvest season and public safety. One board member says they've been working at it, but that they've had some difficulties.
With the weather the way it was this year, we were constantly fighting rain and muddy conditions, and it just compounded the how long it took to get all these projects done.
The board says they've made progress on many of the roads by putting more gravel on them, but some concerned citizens say that's doing more damage in certain areas, with a lot of the gravel just getting pushed into the ditches.
We're just trying to explain to them if they don't have the proper training, you need to get the proper training And there's a person that's in charge of that, and that's the highway superintendent. And he's accountable for all of his employees and the work that's being done by them.
I'm hard pressed to know that that is happening because we know how valuable getting rock on these roads has been, that they're pushing it off in the ditch. It evidently is operator error.
Yannock says he will contact the highway superintendent to make sure that gets addressed. Now, Burrish predicts if proper action isn't taken on some of these roads, they'll be closed permanently this winter. Yannock says not to worry because they'll get to them before that happens. Reporting in rural Butler County, Joe Harris, News Channel Nebraska. President Trump has signed an $8.3 billion spending bill aimed at tackling the coronavirus in the U.S. Nadia Romero has more.